most people will watch this video and then not make any changes at all in their life and then wonder why they cannot hit $10,000 per month. So I want to break that down to you, because the truth is that your current version of you will not hit $10,000 per month. And the sooner you understand what I'm explaining to you in this video, the sooner your life will change. This took me a lot of time, a lot of pain, struggle to learn on my journey. And when I finally understood this, that's when I unlocked my first $10,000 per month at 19 years old. I was able to leave my hometown, start traveling, get freedom that I wanted. And I'm making this video because I recently had a conversation with one of the guys that I coach, a guy who's been working at 9 to 5 for multiple years. So he came to me, he's like, Alex, I want to make 10K a month. I've seen that you helped a bunch of people. I want to learn how I can get out of my 9 to 5. And I was like, great, let's do it. I started working with this guy, but the pattern has been that this guy has still not broken out of his current situation. And I want to give you insights from first hand, because for me it's so obvious. I see exactly why this guy's been stuck, and I know exactly what this guy has to shift to get to where he wants to go, but he's not applying it. So for those of you guys who actually are serious about achieving freedom, 10K a month for yourself, like, please listen to this, because it might be the most important thing that you will hear all day, all week probably. That's gonna allow you to finally get to the goals that you have. And it just starts with you need to get that in order to get to your goals. You cannot act the same way that you're used to doing things, hold the same identity as you're used to having, and achieve new results. You understand this like logically, but you don't apply it in your own life, okay? So let me give an example here so you get this point. You know, when I was starting off my journey in trying to make money online, you know, I was living with my parents at home. I was living under the roof. I was in school studying last years of high school. That was like who I was. You know, I was a professional athlete back in the day. I used to do swimming and swim and train a lot back then, but I never made money online. And that was my identity. That's how I viewed myself. That's how I viewed the world. Okay, so hear me out here. This is what happened. Because of that, I could not do the actions that I needed to do to actually make $10,000 per month. Because someone who was making 10K a month, they would be having a specific amount of focus. They would deal with their emotions a specific way. They would be willing to put in a certain amount of hours. They would be willing to take risks in a certain way. And the current version of me that I was back then was not aligned with that whatsoever. And when I realized this, that's when I saw success. Because what I was doing for a long time, I was trying to act in how I was comfortable with doing things. I was trying to act like the broke, unsuccessful, and like just like 19-year-old. You can imagine yourself like living at home with my parents and like not having any responsibility. I was trying to act like how I was used to doing things, and like scroll and watch movies like all day long, barely put in any effort to stuff I was doing, and still make 10K a month without taking risks, without investing in myself, without aligning my thoughts and actions to someone who would actually make 10K a month. And I was stuck. Then when things changed was when I realized, I understood, okay, like if I actually want to make $10,000 per month, if I want to break free, I have to kill this version of myself. The Alex who was scared of doing cold calling for the agency that I was running back in the day. The Alex who was scared to invest in himself. The Alex who was scared to take action on his goals. The Alex who was scared to take his own path and not listen to his parents, people around him. I had to just kill that version of me completely and let go of like everything that I was used to doing. That's when stuff changed for me. And it's the exact same thing for you right now. Like you have things in your life that you know that is not aligned with the version of yourself that you want to become. Ways of making decisions, ways of looking at yourself, self-talk, people that you're hanging around, decision-making patterns, maybe being in your comfort zone, where you're living. Like you have these things that are actively blocking you from stepping into the new version of yourself. And you need to kill that. You need to decide to delete that version of yourself, and that is when your life will change. You cannot, and this is the definition of insanity. If you look at, I think it's Einstein who had this quote, was like, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a new result, a new outcome, that's the definition of insanity. But you know that logically, but you're still not applying it. That is why, like, you need to, after watching this video, I need you to realize this and start killing that old version of you. And how do you actually do that? I'm going to get into that in a second. But first I want to give you this very, very good example of this story of this guy I helped, who's actually been stuck in this pattern over and over again. So this guy, he's been working in 9 to 5 for a long time. He's been wanting to break out, been trying different online businesses, never really figured it out. Because what happens for him is he has the goal of figuring something out. And then whenever things get hard, whenever he faces a challenge, so he did like an agency back in the day, he did drop shipping, just like myself. And then he got into high ticket sales. I started helping him, and then he started seeing some success. He started facing some challenges as well. Started having to step up and like kind of change how he operates, face a challenge, then you get some rejection, which is part of the high-ticket sales game. Then what he did, because he was so addicted to the old version of himself, so married to his old identity, that he took rejection and failure, like challenges that came up, stuff that he had to learn, stuff that he had to improve on, stuff that he had to ask questions about and like improve on. He took that as a sign that like, I cannot do this. This is too hard for me. And he goes back into the pattern that he's been through, which is just, okay, when stuff gets hard, I just shift to another business model. And then he does that over and over again. That's been his pattern. Like whenever things get hard, he just shifts over to another business model and he like gives up on what he's doing and goes over into the next thing. And I know all of you guys watching this video right now, that is you. That is like who you are right now. That's how you've been operating, that's why you've been stuck. And that's who I was. That's exactly, literally like exactly what I did. I used to, when I was getting into online business, I would, whenever something got hard, whenever I faced a challenge, when I was running an agency, I would change niche. When I got into high-ticket sales, which is a business model that's allow me to now make the money that I'm making today, and by far the simplest and best business model in my opinion, because you focus on one skill. When I got into that, I had the exact same thing. A lot of you might think that, yeah, I just got into high-ticket sales and made 10K my third month without any challenges. Hell no, like I faced a lot of challenges. I literally woke up every single day with a strong desire to change the business model and give up on what I was doing. But why did I succeed? Why did I like push through and actually get to $10,000 a month in 3 months? It was because I was willing to feel those emotions, willing to think, okay, I cannot do this. I don't have what it takes. I should change the business model, I should give up. Understand that that is not the voice that I should be listening to. Understand that that is my old self that's telling me these different things. Think about, you have like the devil on your shoulder, and then you have the angel. You have the devil, which is your old self, telling you can't do this, you should quit, trying to keep you stuck, trying to keep you safe. You know, that's your old self. I had that every single day. I actually have a notebook full of me, like written down, like every single day I've written down in that notebook, I should change this business model, I should quit sales, I'm not meant to do sales, I'm not meant to make money online, I should go back into 9 to 5. Like I've been through, and pretty much every single objection that you probably have right now about taking action on your goals, I've had that. Why did I succeed and why haven't you gotten to that 10K month yet? It's not because I'm special, it's not because I'm like different. The only thing that I did is I kept going when I had those even thoughts. I understood that these emotions are signs that I'm getting close towards my goal. And it's so simple. Like you just need to realize this and you remind yourself of this every single day. So that when you're on your journey, when you face a challenge of like, and you have these thoughts, very convincing thoughts, especially when you're tired and you haven't really been doing well, you've been facing some struggles that day, you're like, shit, I shouldn't do this. And you have these convincing thoughts, you see someone else doing another business model, you see someone else like talking about something else, or you realize like, I don't think I can do the entrepreneurship thing or making money online, I think it's just being a 9 to 5, I think it's too difficult. When you have that come up, if you have this, if you've done what I told you to do right now, you have like a notebook or like a Google Doc that I use where I literally written down and I handle my own objections. I, for example, written out, when you feel like quitting, when you feel like you should give up and change into another business model, that is a sign that you're just about to break through, and it's your old self, the devil on your shoulder, trying to pull you back and keep you comfortable, keep you safe. And at that point, you have two different options. You either listen to that, which can keep you stuck and broke and like is unsuccessful forever, listening to that old version of you, or you kill that. And you do that one step at a time. You put one foot in front of the other, start walking, taking steps, day by day. You decide, I feel this way right now, I feel like I should quit, I feel like I should change business model, I feel like I should go back in 9 to 5. But despite that, you keep taking the actions you know you should be taking. You keep moving forward. And that is how your life changes. It's by understanding you're not supposed to remove these thoughts. You're not supposed to not feel these emotions of doubt and uncertainty and can I actually do this? That's supposed to be there. That's your current self, your old self, responding to you trying to make change. The test is, can you keep going despite of how you feel? Can you keep going? It's like a test from the universe, if you believe in that. That's how I look at it. It's a test like, are you actually worthy of achieving your goals? Are you willing to push through when things get hard? And that dictates whether you make it or not. And the funny thing here, I want to end this video with this, is that when you push through, when you have, because I've had multiple of the students that I coach, that we've had this conversation over one-on-one calls. They're just about, they've landed their first role, they're having this doubts, can I actually do this? We have this conversation, they're like, Alex, I want to quit, I don't know if I can do this. I coached them through this, how to think about this. And then the week after they come back, I had, for example, like April recently, who like literally went from making no money to making his first, I think it's like 7.5 or 8K in a month, the month after having that conversation. Like it's always, your breakthroughs literally is just beyond you continuing when things feel the absolute hardest, when you really want to give up and things feel scary, when you're like about to just shift back to your old identity, but you take that extra step, you decide to kill that old self. That is when you break free. That is when you break through and actually get the results that you want for yourself. I really hope this makes sense, and please Be the guy who's gonna take action on this. Don't be the guy who's gonna just listen to this, feel good, and then just keep living your life. Kill the current self. Change comes when you're fully willing to step out of how you're used to doing things and align yourself fully to the version of yourself who's already done it. I'm rooting for you, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next video. Take care. Ciao.